Hello and welcome to my Bioshock 1 wrench build guide. So, wrench build, let's go over some of the tonics you can run for it. The best ones to run are always Wrench Jockey 1 and 2. Damage research with enemies having been researched by the camera. This scales your wrench damage against them, and also the camera research helps as well. Wrench Lurker can be useful. If not, if you want to use something that doesn't proc off of unaware enemies, or enemies that are affected by bees, which counts as unaware, you can just use Frozen Field or just Wrench Lurker. And then I use Armored Shelled 1 and 2 for tanking. So the way I run this is I just run up to enemies and just beat them to death. I have Wrench Lurker, but I don't really need it. I could probably run something else, maybe Static Discharge. This could be decent, so I guess we'll just try this out for fun. Okay, so for the physical tonics, you always want Sport Boost 1 and 2, Eve Saver, and Bloodlust, and the rest is optional. In this case, I have Medical Expert 3 and Eve Link 2. And then for plasmids, this is usually what I run. Bees, Electrobolt, Sonic Boom. Sonic Boom is the best for crowd controlling basic enemies. You use Electrobolt on turrets and security, and you can use bees if you want, but it can't aggro Big Daddies, which is a problem. So this build can kill enemies, or can kill Big Daddies up to Hephaestus level. The actual build to do that is you run Frozen Field 1 and 2. There it is. So this is the actual build to kill them. This will not work on Big Daddies after Hephaestus level because they will unfreeze faster than normal. But this build can actually kill any Big Daddy before Hephaestus level by permanently freezing them. If you just keep spamming attack, eventually you'll shatter them. So, little tip there, I guess. Let's get Armored Shell back. Frozen Field also increases your base damage, so it can be good. I don't like it because it freezes things, and when you freeze things, you don't siphon Eve off of them. So I'm just going to stick to Static Discharge for fun. Alright, so this is the basic use of the build. My turret did some damage to me. I appreciate that. So you can CC an enemy. Oops. Probably should have just hacked that. You can CC enemies and you can whack them. Turrets are really annoying, but in this case there was like a bot and a turret. But against normal groups of enemies, this build is insane. And you shouldn't really even be using medkits. But the only resource you'll really need are medkits and the occasional Eve Hypo. So if you have Vending Expert 1 and 2 and you have auto hacks, this is like one of the most efficient builds to run in terms of economy and resource management, like in resource usage. So you can CC enemies, beat them to death. As you can see here. Oops, just missed that. So you won't siphon Eve unless you actually hit them when they're alive. If you kill them with an attack, you actually won't get any of the resources. But overall, this build is quite strong. I would argue it's actually broken because you can just go up to groups of enemies and like whack them. You have like complete control over them. You can see here. So yeah, that's wrench build. It's very basic. If you want to kill the other Big Daddies that are after Hephaestus, like at levels that are on levels after Hephaestus, all you have to do is just run trap bolts and Electric Flesh 1 and 2. Set up like 10 or so trap bolts in their walking path, and they'll just walk into their own death. So yeah, that's wrench build. You can just like splash the crossbow. You don't even have to upgrade the crossbow, but if you do, it does scale the damage if you get the damage increase. But if you want to just kill everything with a wrench, wrenching Big Daddies after Hephaestus with the Frozen Field build won't really work, so you'll have to resort to like spamming plasmids if you want to stick with just the wrench. Other than that, I don't really recommend doing that, but you can if you want. And that's it for this one. Thanks for checking this out.